What's up guys, and welcome back to WBC Builds. So today I have for you the long awaited tutorial on this really quite grand, elegant Georgian townhouse. So about 2 weeks ago I put out a tweet on Twitter saying which one of these 3 townhouses would you like to see me build as a tutorial. And this one was the winner. Clearly it's one of the most elegant buildings I've seen. It's got this lovely bay window on one side, and the actual main centre building itself is just a beautiful looking Georgian townhouse. So this one's a great addition to any town where you want to build something a bit more older, a bit more Victorian, and it just works as a standalone building. You can build it in a row with other buildings next to it, but for the purposes of this video I'm just going to show you it built as a standalone building. What's also quite a nice key feature is how the road level is built up to the townhouse itself, and we'll get onto that in the tutorial, but it just helps building the basement level. At the end of this video I'm going to show you how this building looks in my town of Southampton, and I hope you stick around and see that. Now without further ado, we should get on with the actual tutorial. I'm going to show you what blocks I've been using. Right, okay, so a block palette here is quite extensive. You can see we've got quite a few different ranging colours along here. To start off with, the brick is used mainly for the outside walls. We've got some stone bricks and stone brick slabs, white concrete powder and white concrete, andesite and stone. We've also got polished diorite because, you know what, we need a little bit of a finishing touch on stuff. The main piece we're going to be using is smooth quartz. That's used throughout the entirety of this building. We've got some quartz pillars. Now the birch is also used just for a little bit of fine detailing and the balcony. We've got some grey stained glass. I always use that just to hide away a little bit of the interior. Anvils used for the chimneys. We've got some carpets used for a little bit of detailing. Onto the doors, going to go for some dark oak. Got some trapdoors as well, iron and dark oak. They'll come apparent later on in the video. Bit of iron railing just for that extra bit of detailing, and some stone brick walls for use as drain pipes. Okay then guys, let's get into how I built this. Okay, now it's time to get into the build itself. So the building is 25 blocks by 16 blocks for the main square. Then we have a section of 11 blocks deep by 9 blocks, and then 5 blocks further back than that. So you get this nice square and rectangle shape. The bay window is you can see there on screen in orange, so follow that exactly as it is. Now the windows themselves are 2 wide by 3 high, and this gives you the nice sort of Georgian feel to it. The base level round here, now we're building the basement, is 4 blocks high of stone with a single block of polished diorite. I'm just adding a little bit of a road in here just to give that bit more context to what we're doing. So as I said, the basement level has been built on the ground level, and then the road's built up to it. Now around the front as well, I'm just putting in the bit around the known as the area, which is the section between the road and the basement windows. On the walkway above, we've got some iron railings and some more polished diorite blocks to act as a sort of railing. It's filling in a little bit more of the ground, so we've got a bit more of an idea. Coming on to the bay window, now this is a bit difficult to explain because later on I actually do change the design, and that's because I messed up here, so we'll get back to that in a bit. Now coming around to the side, we've got a singular window and a door going in here because this is the access to the garden itself. You can actually make the garden whatever size you want, so I haven't stipulated exact dimensions for it, but what I will show you is how I build up the ground, so we've got a bit of landscaping going on. Coming around to the back wall here in this little L shape, we have a singular window in the middle of the wall here. So the window is 4 blocks in, 2 blocks wide, so it leaves us a nice little gap there. Coming round to the back, on the basement level, there is only 1 window on this side because I build up the ground into the corner. You, when you build it, can put as many windows along here as you like. That bit is up to you. So I'm just doing a little bit of terraforming here just to show off exactly how the ground gets back up to the road level. So that's the ground floor, well, the basement level done, and now it's time to fill in the interiors. So I'm not going to show you exactly wall by wall or anything like that, but what I do tend to do is just have a nice dark oak floor, and then I put in a second skin of wall, and that's so I can put the windows in, because I like to do the trapdoor little technique for when we have window shutters, and you need a 2 deep window in order to be able to get that to go. So inside I've just used a dark oak for the floor and some grey concrete for the walls. So sticking in all of the window panes, you got the 2 high, and then we got the door round there. I'll show you exactly what we do with the door later on. So this is the little window trick I said about. Now if you're building this in survival and you aren't like opt on a server, you probably won't be able to use this, but this is using the debug stick in order to trick the trapdoor into thinking it's open. So you can do this without world edit, and it's done in creative if you have cheats on, and it's just a nice little technique to use to make the windows a little bit sort of not as wide, and it helps with an aspect ratio. Now you don't actually have to do it, and what can be done instead is you can use birch trapdoors to simulate the same effect because it's a similar sort of colour. So I'm just putting a little bit of a garden wall around. I'm using the red brick here, topped off with a polished piece of diorite. Now as I said, you can do the gardens exactly how you wish to do them yourselves, so we don't have to worry about that. Now moving on to the main building itself, we have these smooth quartz stairs used in this fashion to act like a rusticated base. So we're just putting them on top of each other like that and turning the ones on the edges around so they have a flat side up against the door. You can see I've used an upside down diorite stair to act as the windowsill. Doing a little trick there with the trapdoors, as I said, you don't have to do that. So this is a 5 block high section of wall with windows that are only 2 blocks high. The door is made from dark oak, and then above the dark oak we have 2 trapdoors of the same block, and that's just to act as like a nice little spacer between the door and the fan light. At the front of the building we're now building a little porch, and that's made from smooth quartz stairs and also quartz pillars. So you can see I've put around some little upside down stairs to act as a cornice, and in between each one of those goes some trapdoors. So underneath the little portico here we've added a couple of lanterns. You can do what you want with that, I've just sort of hung them from the ceiling. There are the iron trapdoors going in, and now the balcony coming around. So this is made from birch. I thought the birch just adds that little bit extra different colour, and around the edge of the birch goes a little bit of the railings. The balcony only extends around the front face of the building because the sides may be used up against other buildings. What I tend to do actually for this is use a bit of grey carpet as a damp course or a bit of lead on the top of the upside down stairs. Okay, so the bay window here is now its correct size, so it's 4 blocks in the middle, 3 blocks in from the outside and 3 blocks in from the right hand side as well. And yeah, the bay window is a little bit hard, so the actual windows themselves are placed one black back and then one forward, and you get a nice sort of curve on the window panes, following the same birch pattern around the top here with the railings on top. Coming round to the side, you've got 2 windows up here now, and they are exactly the same as they are around the front, so you just build them 2 blocks high for the glass, and then on top of that an upside down quartz stairs, again using the trapdoors as a little bit of detailing. Around the back we carry on the 1 window centre up, so that carries on all the way up to the top floor, and but what's actually happened now is we've changed up to be using white concrete rather than the quartz, and I just find that this helps break up the colour pattern a little bit, and within the white concrete I'm putting white concrete powder just to help break up that colour pattern a bit more as well. You can see I've also added a stone brick, a drain pipe along the edge of the walls, and yeah, so that's the ground floor done. So it's time now just to fill that in and give you a sort of another idea of how this looks from above. With the interiors, like I said, you can do them exactly how you wish to do them. I don't tend to do interiors, so I like to build empty shells for people to have a go at themselves. With this building, it is quite a large one, and building it in survival may be quite hard, especially with all its quartz. So I would recommend this one being done in a sort of creative city aspect. But please feel free to have a go at it while in creative. Now onto the upstairs section, we have the wall placed 1 block back with quartz pillars now sitting on top of what was the original wall below. In between each of these pillars we have 3 windows in the same positions as they are below, and yeah, that just helps add a bit of extra depth to the wall. And these don't have any capping stairs above them, it is just straight smooth quartz to act as like a plastered finish. Again, using the trapdoors in the windows as well. Moving on now to the bay window section. This is exactly the same as it is below, so we got the windows brought forward and bent round using the pane glass, and here as well we've got just window panes placed in front of window panes, just to add that little extra bit of curvature. Coming round to the side, we have a similar sort of fashion, so you have columns and windows set in between each one of them. This also follows around onto the other side as well, but you can't see it here, but one of the windows on that other side is blanked out, just like this. Moving on round to the back, it's exactly the same as it is on the lower floor, and that's going to be the same for all 3 floors of this. Now, I do like how this looks. You can add some leaves to it or something else just to help break that up once you build it yourselves. And that's the idea with this one, is you can add to it whatever you want. It's more of a shell of a building than anything else. Now moving on up to the final level of flooring, just putting in the dark oak again as a little placeholder. Coming round, this time the windows and the floor space is a little bit smaller because of the fact the walls have been moved in from the front. I'm having to make a few little adjustments to the side here because I messed up, and you need to just understand this is my first time of doing one of these like this, and I am sorry. Anyway, just filling in the walls now and putting in a few more panes of glass. If you do want to come see this building for itself, it is on my server. The IP is in the description below, and yeah, it's over in an area of town called Lymore Park. Now, coming around for the final course of windows, these windows are now back down to our 2x2 windows. We've had 2x3 on the ground basement level and on this level, and now the upper floors here only have a 2x2. This is very common in Georgian buildings because you have the main the main rooms on the first floor rather than the ground floor, because that's where you would like hold receptions for people. And the bay window again reflects the whole size difference there. Coming around to the side and finishing off this bit, again we're going to have these false windows here, so they've got one block set back behind them. You can see now where I've made the changes on this side of the wall. And yeah, it's just little things slip by while I'm trying to do this. So moving all the way back around to the other side, we've got another false window here, and now we need to move back onto the back, which is exactly the same as it was on the other 3 floors. So we're going to move on to the roof in a second, and then that'll be it done for this tutorial. So yeah, I kind of enjoy doing this. We need to probably refine this format a little bit more, so leave me some comments below saying exactly how you'd like me to do these properly and what I've done wrong. So anyway, now it's time to put the frieze in, which is the section above the cornice. You can see I've put in a couple of upside down stairs on top of some smooth quartz, and that just helps give this nice lip effect. And around the top of that, I finish it off with some grey carpet. Now the roof itself is made from slabs. I've got stone brick slabs and diorite slabs, and the diorite slabs are used on the corners just to help indicate those little bits. You can see there I've put some chimneys in. I've arbitrarily placed them. You can place them wherever you like. So the chimney is the roof is just a sort of a concentric squares going up into smaller and smaller, like a pyramid. You finish at a little point at the top with 2 pieces of diorite. And on the bay window side, it's again the same idea, but apart from that, you square it off rather than having the little curve at the front. Okay then guys, going to do a quick little fly around, and then we'll move on to our quick little showcase in our town of Southampton, just so you get an idea of how this building looks. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the little showcase. Okay, well thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Now I'm just going to show you how this townhouse looks within the town of Southampton. You can see it sitting here on the corner of 2 roads. We've got behind it the Lymore Park clock tower, which is a nice little feature in my town, and this is just how it sort of works. You can put a couple more of them along each other, like I said, as a row, but you don't have to. And the basement level and the garden also just helps where you've got some discrepancies between different heights of road. You can see here the road level starts down here and then obviously builds up. And just like in tutorial, we showed you, how you can build the road level up to the townhouse itself. And it just gives quite a nice commanding view with just how it looks. It sits well in a landscape, it sits well here. The complete white palette may be a little bit blinding to some people, but to me I think it just screams Regency style buildings and elegance. So anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and do show me what you achieve with this tutorial. I would love to see you, tweet me some pictures of it on Twitter, or even hop into our Discord and place them in your post to build section. Okay then guys, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more of these. I've enjoyed making this, it's been quite a bit different to my usual videos. So any comments, leave them below on how I should change things, how I should keep things the same, the usual drill. Okay guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.